Welcome to the Bobby O Show. My name is Bobo Potsner. I'm here with what I think will be a
The Bobby O Show.
Welcome to the Bobby O Show. My name is Bobo Potsner. We're doing today's show outside in October, in the beginning of the fall, on this beautiful day. And if I got a show for you, I have a return appearance by Jenny Grace, an up-and-coming country western music singer, songwriter. She's a model as well, and she does a lot of things. She was in the military. We have a lot to talk about Jenny. And her drummer in her band, we call him Squeak. His name is Michael Mulusky. It's the last time you'll hear that name. He's got a great history of being a drummer, and they've come together for a very exciting band. But before I get to them, as you probably all know, this is the second day of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. And I'm going to reach over and do a Jewish tradition with you. You'll see, if you can, a little challah, and you'll see an apple, and you'll see some honey. And the tradition on Rosh Hashanah is to dip your apple in honey, take a bite, and it signifies that we all should have a healthy and happy new year. And so that's what we're doing now, getting ready for a wonderful new year. Let me introduce to you now, with an apple in my mouth, Jenny Grace. Hi, Jenny.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. May you have a sweet new year, Jenny. And Michael Mulusky, Squeak. How you doing, Squeak?
Hello, Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. These two people are phenomenal musicians. I met Jenny through her friend who is a dental hygienist, believe it or not. And Jenny's been on my show. Jenny has done some great videos. We're going to see some of them today. And she and Squeak have a band they're playing together. And to start the show, I'll ask Candy M, my director, to play that first shorts tape. Jenny, why don't you give us a quick background about yourself? Some people may not have seen the first show. Just give a brief background of who you are and what you do.
Hello, I'm Jenny Grace, and I'm a country music singer-songwriter. I'm based in Nashville, and I have my first album coming out and another one after that, so I'm excited.
What's the first album called?
Ghost.
Ghost. The last time you were on the show, you played a song I really adore, and I think you've won some awards for it, called Dreaming. Do you write your own music as well as sing it?
Yes, I write. It's very personal. If you listen to it, you can kind of tell some of the songs are written for other people, but the ones that I've released right now are pretty much from my perspective.
And we'll come back to this in a little bit. Squeak, a little bit about your background, please, sir. I'm going to get in more detail later on, just a little bit of who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm a drummer from Pennsylvania. I connected with Jenny a few years ago, and have been playing with her, for her shows, pretty much as her live drummer. But I've played all my life. My father was a drummer. That's pretty much how I got started, and just looking forward to a great future with Jenny.
I saw you folks in concert live in Watertown, Connecticut. and I really went to see Jenny, but I also was, and she was phenomenal. But I also was noticing your phenomenal your drum playing as well, and I thought that you seem to make a very good group together, and I can see why you got together.
Well, thank you,
Squeak,
sir.
you're welcome. Squeak, behind you, I see some photos of drummers who I don't know, but you could explain who they are and why they're there.
Well, of course, as I said, my father was a drummer, and that's pretty much how I got my start. However, my biggest influence growing up was Neil Peart from the band Rush. Very influential drummer throughout the years, very highly regarded. I had the opportunity to see the band play multiple times, but he was the one who really made me dig deep into wanting to be a drummer, and probably I'd have the next to my father give him the credit for why I'm even here today. So most of my studio down here has a lot of Rush and Neil Peart memorabilia. Just something to remind me why I'm doing this.
Jenny, you have performed in Nashville, have you not?
Yeah, my first show actually in Nashville was last year at Whiskey Jam in August. So that was really cool to have a first show to be Whiskey Jam. So
What is Whiskey Jam?
it is a like up and coming showcase of new country artists and regular, rock artists too that are up and coming. And it's the people that created it are actually industry, so it's not just a random, showcase. It's definitely high visibility. A lot of people go to it. So.
And Jenny's multi-talented. Not only does she sing, she writes. She also has other things she does in her career. I think you were a model at one point in time. Is that not true?
Yes, I'm currently signed to Dynasty Models in Boston, doing some runway work, some print modeling, anything to make some extra money to afford my albums. And it's been really great for my confidence as well, because being on the stage is nerve-wracking, and, they teach you how to walk and look on camera. So it's definitely helped me a lot.
And you also were in the military, were you not?
Yep, that also helps with my confidence a lot too.
I'll bet.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
many?
I was raised by, just kind of like conservative people in Connecticut. So we, not politically conservative as far as, I mean, like just, how Connecticut people are. We're pretty quiet. And, it kind of took me out of my shell a little bit. I was very shy until I went in. So.
I can't picture you as being shy. Squeak, I understand that you have had some amazing bands that you've played with in your career, and also you've been the initial group that played as the initial players. Tell me some of the bands you've played with and a little bit of your background.
Well, I've been very blessed. I come from a small town in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. We're 2 hours from Philly, 2.5 hours from New York City, and I've had the honor to play with some of the best musicians that the area has offered, regularly as steady bands or as a fill-in drummer. I'd be called the fill-in. One of the bands I performed with, Tommy Schaefer, we had the opportunity to perform and open for many country legends. And our pinnacle gig, of course, is playing at the legendary Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. We were introduced by Little Jimmy Dickens, and we had, it was my first, real venture at playing country music. I had a chance to record with that band, and it was a very exciting time a number of years ago. And it was something that, I hadn't played country again until I really connected with Jenny. But it was something that I enjoyed very much, and very glad to be back at it, actually.
I enjoy mostly the shows I do. I rarely do a show about the law. I like to do things I don't know very much about, and I like to be educated by my guests. And Jenny's been trying to teach me a little bit about country western music. And I say that because in looking at your CV or resume, I see the names of Charlie Daniels, Loretta Lynn. Those are people who I've heard, the Oak Ridge Boys. And tell me a little bit about how you got involved with playing. I guess you were the opening act for them.
Yes, we had an entertainment complex that was built by the namesake who had the band, and we were pretty much the house band there. So every national act that came through, we had the opportunity to open for, and some of them we opened for, on the road and other venues. Charlie Daniels being one of them. Oak Ridge Boys. Was a real quick story with the Oak Ridge Boys is one of the singers came on stage while we were doing our sound check, and made us stop playing just to tell someone that they left their lights on out in the parking lot. I thought that was kind of cool. One of the Oak Ridge boys is trying to help somebody out with, leaving their lights on. But yeah, that was a really good experience. I got a chance to be backstage and meet a lot of the other musicians, learn a lot about the industry and what these guys are doing on the road. But it was a very cool time. Yes.
Jenny, I'm very enamored by the fact you can write music as well as playing it and singing it. I just finished reading Barbara Streisand's 960-page biography, and she described people writing songs for her, etc. And I'm very impressed by that. I was impressed by the songs that you've told us at the last show you've written. Tell us a little bit about where you get your ideas from as to why you're going to write a particular song. Where does it come from? Is it just you're driving your car one day, you pull to the side of the road? How do you do it?
My writing has been compared to John Mayer, who is also from Connecticut. And obviously I'm a different style than him because he's like pop and rock, but he is a concept writer where like his songs have a concept and they're very thematic. So if it's two ways that I write, usually I'll have a concept like with dreaming, and then I make that theme. And the story of that song is of a woman who's dreaming of someone that she can't be with, but she can't stop the dreams. And so it's a very romantic, like, kind of theme. And the second way that I write is if somebody sends me a full composition of music, and then I write lyrics over it and vocal melodies over it and vocal hooks. So two ways.
You'll like this story. I actually inflamed my Achilles tendon, so I'm getting some physical therapy. I was here this morning, and there was some country western music being played by the therapist. I said, wait a minute, go find Dreaming. This is a true story. Dreaming from Jenny Grace. And what do you think about it? So literally these people are getting their physical therapy for their injuries to their bones, etc. And we're blasting Dreaming, which I happen to think it's a great song, and everyone was clapping. So I just want to know, Jenny, that I'm doing my best to get your name out there a little bit.
Thank you so much. And apparently it was number 4 in the Netherlands on Apple iTunes country chart, which is amazing. I don't even know how that happened because I don't have a label and I don't have anyone behind me. So that's pretty cool.
Well, I think it's because I just came back from Italy for 12 days. I met a couple from Finland, and I bought 1,000 of your records. So maybe that's where it came from. There's a part of the music industry. I'm sorry. I have a very dry sense of humor. I think Jenny might appreciate it. When I graduated from law school, I had no idea. I learned the law. I did well in law school and classes, etc. But there's one thing I had no clue about, and that is that you got to find clients to be successful as a lawyer. And how do you go about finding clients? How do you make financial success if that's what you're looking to achieve? And in talking to Jenny and in talking to Squeak, I learned again that it's not just in the law. You have to learn how to market and finance yourself, whatever. But there's a very financial impact of success in the music industry. I'd like either or both, actually both of you, to comment upon your thoughts about the financial side of music industry, which most people don't know about. Squeak, you want to go first, sir?
Well, that's a very interesting subject. When you're pursuing original music and songwriting and what have you, it's a very, very challenging and tough period because a lot of times, you hear that expression about feast and famine. The money isn't always there because you're really trying to support your art. So you're really investing in yourself, in your art, in what you believe to get your music out there. So a lot of people have a tough time breaking away from a comfort zone, which was something that I actually had dealt with for a number of years of playing, regionally and locally and working cover bands, party bands, where you can make a lot of money doing that. You can make a living doing that, if you're in the right area. So you have to be willing to really consider a bigger payoff in the future. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in your art, and then then good things will come in the future. So it's definitely a balancing act and being willing to get out of your comfort zone when it comes to finances
and doing hard work.
Yes.
Jen, do you have any comments on that? Any comments, Jennifer?
Yes. I mean, I know people that went to Berkeley and they don't even do music anymore because they didn't know how to do the craziness of making social media. They didn't know how to write songs. They didn't know how to get a fan base. And I never went to school for music, so I totally agree with you that it is like something that is, you have to have an entrepreneur spirit. Like you can't just be good at music and expect to have a career, or like you can't just be a good lawyer and go to law school. Like you have to have an ability, like a personality to be able to do this, right? So.
And those of you who follow college basketball know that it's surprising that Jenny and I are very friendly because she's a UConn grad and I'm a Dookie. But having said all that, Jen, what's your next song? We're going to put it. We have a nice 3 or 4 minute video. What's the name of this song? And did you write it?
Yeah, the name of the song is Somewhere on the Water, and it was filmed in St. Croix, which is in Virgin Islands this year. We actually made the video ourselves. And I wrote this song about someone that I missed because I am from coastal Connecticut. And whenever I'm on the water, where I met this person originally in college, I think of that person. So
if we could ask Candy Ann to play that video, let's hear the song Somewhere on the Water, written, performed by Jenny Grace.
Summer sun, too young to know the impact that it just begun. And I know love makes you run, but stay here with me, 'cause the night is one. I don't wanna leave this town, but my dreams are bigger than the suburban runaround. I know someday we'll come back around. Summer on the water, 'cause summer on the water, where you found me standing there. Summer on the water, where we dream without a care, with your arms wrapped around me and the world disappeared. Summer on the water, now that we moved away, you know I still think of yesterday. Wonder where we could have been if we just held on when the winds came in. I know that we have our own lives, and I would never make you sacrifice. 'Cause someday I know we'll return to summer on the water. Summer on the water, where you found me standing there. Summer on the water, where we dream without a care, with your arms wrapped around me and the world disappeared. Summer on the water, in the night when I'm driving alone, the wind in my hair, I roll down the windows, breathing the ocean air, wondering if I'll ever get there. Summer on the water, where you found me standing there. Summer on the water, where we dream without a care, with your arms wrapped around me
Really nice, really nice. You know, Jenny made me a promise that someday when she and Squeak are the opening act in Nashville, I get to buy a ticket front row and then go backstage. That's really, really nice music. Squeak, I have a question for you though. To me, that's a romantic ballad. How come that gets classified as country western? Do I just not know the genre? In fact, I asked you because you said that your dad, you told me prior to the show that your dad said you should play a lot of different genres. What makes that, if you know, country western? Because it's just a sweet, beautiful romantic ballad to me.
Well, I mean, music is really diversified today. There's a lot of crossover, a lot of connections with the different genres. I mean, there's really no rules so much. I mean, if you know, there are some songs that yes, that won't fit in neatly in another situation, but just some of the tones, some of the basically sometimes some what the song is really about. Um, uh, you can put it in different areas. You could put it in pop, or you can put it in adult contemporary. You can put it in country. A lot of times songs will you see that so many times today where metal artists might be doing country, or Beyonce just came out with a country song. So I mean, really, it just depends on how you want to market it.
Jennifer, Jen, do you have any comment about my question?
Yeah, so the answer is the mandolin, right?
Oh,
The mandolin in there, and a really good player in Nashville played on that record called Chris Condon, and he is playing on all the famous records, and he's really great. And also probably my country voice, I would say, right? So
I was just going to mention your voice because you're born and raised in Milford, Connecticut, and I know that's like Southern Connecticut, so maybe that's where you get your. We don't have a lot more time. Just want to ask a couple of questions, though, if I can, Jenny. What do you have from some shows coming up in the future? Where and what do you have going on?
I have October 29th at the Basement. I'm going to be playing there in Nashville. And then I have the Josie Music Awards. I'm just attending. I'm nominated for a couple awards. And then I have November 9th at the Launch Music Festival in Dallas, Texas. And then I have December 7th, my Christmas show. Well, it's my holiday show. And that's going to be in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, and it's at the Majestic Theater. And there's tickets too. So.
And I have to say that I may have had the influence. I'm not going to tell you how. I'm possibly one of the songs in the Christmas show, but we'll see. We don't know yet. Squeak, how did you and Jenny get together professionally?
Interesting enough, it was really just a Craigslist ad that I responded to. Somebody, female country artist, looking for a drummer, and it was something that I was actually looking to do, work with someone like her, and spoke with her on the phone. A couple weeks later, we played our first show in Connecticut, which was, I believe, that show, the video that you had posted in the beginning there was from that very show.
And how about from your perspective? I told you folks how I met Jenny through my dental hygienist, and if they hadn't cracked one of my teeth, which they fixed, I wouldn't have met you. How'd you and Squeak come together from your perspective?
So I had been working with Broadway pit drummers. So if you know, like in Manhattan, they have Broadway players that are really good. That's like the only people around here that I think are really good, besides some few gems like Squeak. So I was like, why don't I just get someone that I could be friends with who's going to tour with me? Because these people on Broadway are like, they're not even into country music, number one. And, that's how we connected. And then I find out he has this whole background in country music. So I thought that was awesome.
I understand you guys have a funny story you want to tell me about a cup. Who's going to take the cup story?
This cup here. Well, this cup here, I don't know if you can see it real well. There's some lipstick stains on it. This was a cup.
Whose lipstick? Whose lipstick is it?
It's not my lipstick, but we were on one of our ventures traveling, and I was cleaning my vehicle a few days after we had got back, and I see this laying on the floor, and recall that she comes out of the hotel room with her coffee, and I'm not going to say where, to say that, protect the innocent, but this cup is kept in a secret location in my studio here. And when she sells her first platinum album, this is going on eBay for a very high price. So I'm saving this. This is my retirement right here. This cup.
Squeak, can Jenny sing in the morning before she has her coffee? That's a very important question. I want to know the answer to.
Well, I like to think that Jenny can sing anytime, but I know she has her time of the day that she feels more comfortable.
Jenny, I'm going to give you the last word. We have a little technological problem, so I'm not sure how much time is left in the show, but I think it's about a minute left, more or less. Jen, just give us any thoughts you might have about where you're headed and what your goals are. And I just do want to say, I really commend both of you guys, because too many people in life don't do what they want to really do. There's an old movie called City Slickers where Billy Crystal asks this old guy, what's the key to life? And the old guy says, finding one thing you love, find that one thing you love, and build a career around it. And I think you guys seem to be doing that. Jenny, any comments?
Yeah, I feel really lucky to be able to do it. I mean, I've definitely worked hard, but so many people tried to like persuade me out of it. And I found out it's because they never lived their dream. So you have to find who the source is who's telling you things that are negative, right? Because those people probably never followed their dreams.
Jenny, if anyone tries to tell you or you, Squeak, not to do and follow your dream, you call the Bobby O up. We'll file an immediate injunction, tell the people to shut the up. In any event, have a happy and healthy new year. I hope my timing's right because I technology a little off. Jenny, Grace, Squeak, you'll be back, both of you, again another time. And one time, Jenny's going to be interviewing Bobby O. That will be fun. Have a great day, folks. Stick around.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye now.